So we are live. How is everybody? Good to see you all.
I hope you are well. So,
Go on.
we're here. Sorry we are late. So basically, what I liked, because the laptop runs low, and I don't understand why the laptop runs low, because I've taken a load of stuff off it. But anyway, it keeps running slow. So now, before we come on, I shut it down and then restart it, especially if I've been working on it. So I shut it down, restart it, and that's what I did. And then all of a sudden, it wouldn't log on to the internet. Hey,
Hi,
Charlie.
Charlie. Are you okay? How you doing?
Hope you're well.
Hit us with those followers, Charlie. How many we got?
So when I logged off and I was expecting it to log back on, it didn't log onto the internet. So it came on and everything, and then I was trying to manually get it to hook on, it wouldn't. So then I had to switch it off again and then switch it on again.
877.
Wow,
That's
wow,
gone
wow,
up. That has
wow.
gone up.
Good for you.
So how many we got? So yeah, well done. So we need 123 for 1,000. Not bad.
Mm.
That's very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 880 now, so you're not too far behind us, really.
So we've gone. We're chasing each other. We're doing like this. But that's really good, Charlie. Well done. And we've got over 1,000 videos now as well.
Yeah, he's got over. So we're hoping for 1,000 followers at some point.
Yes.
We've got 120 more to go, so hopefully
we are getting there.
We're
and thank
getting
you
there,
for
yeah.
everybody there, because that is your support. That
exactly your support for sure, and subscribing to our channel. Thank you. So, how have we been coping with this new year?
So it's been cold.
Yeah, I've got my jumper on. I've got my little booties on as well.
I'm just doing a little hint here.
So, what did we do at the weekend?
What did we do? I'm just cleaning my mouth with a. Oh yes. So this is all that's left of the donut. So we went to Donatelier. That's Donatelier. Do Google it. Have a look at it. That's where we went. Now they are donuts. It's a new donut place opened up. Actually, like very, very new, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it opened up a few months ago. Yeah.
So I say very, very, very new. Very, very new for us to try. But they were amazing. Pricey. Now if you look at Donut Time are big donuts, and they're about £5 to £6 each.
They're probably the most expensive donuts we've bought to date.
Well, hang on, let me finish.
I'm
So Donut Time are about this big, and they're about £5 each. Now Donatelier are the regular size, as you can see. I'm doing that. They're around about that size, but they are £6, so they're more expensive and smaller. But when you try the right one, and we say the right one, you will know why they are that £6. They were amazing. So this one was in Charing Cross. We went to, and what
Charing Cross Road.
Yeah, Charing Cross Road. And what I did love about the actual shop as well. So the actual chandelier that you've got above it are just piping bags with lights in them. It was so good. I looked up. I said, "Look, they're piping bags." Don't know why I noticed that one as well when I was actually drooling over the donuts. They were so busy though. So this donut shop had so many people in there. We walked in, somebody pushed in front of somebody. That when I say that, just to make sure that's clear, Kelly didn't push in front of somebody. Somebody pushed in front of Kelly.
And the thing was, she was scooting past because we were queuing, and she scooted past, but she scooted past as if she wanted to take pictures. And then obviously no one said anything, and I just thought to myself, what? And they were talking in another language. I believe it was a European language, and she was blonde, and like you'll see it on the video because I actually mentioned her in the video. And look at this woman; she's just pushed in.
Have you uploaded it yet?
No,
okay.
no, I haven't uploaded it yet. But I was working on another one that we had done before Christmas. But I will work on the other one.
Okay.
But I did I do a quick no, because the one I did a quick TikTok.
Yeah, I thought you had.
So yeah, I've done a TikTok and I've done a YouTube short. So if you want like a quick view, you can check it out on the YouTube shorts and the TikTok video. And I also did it on Insta. So if you want to check out Insta, TikTok, and YouTube shorts, you'll see the sort of like what the donuts look like if you're curious. It's on Charing Cross Road. I remember when Siobhan, which is Mark's brother's girlfriend, she sent me a picture of like, look at this new place that's just opened up, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to try it. I've got to say, all of the donuts are we tried 4.
Yeah.
And
so we won't ruin it because you'll see it on the video. But we're going to carry on.
But yeah, I was about to say, I think there are 3, 6, 9, possibly 12, between 9 and 12 donuts.
Okay.
To choose from.
We've got quite a few more to go then. So we've done 4 already.
So we've done 4, and I have to say the donuts are shamazing.
They are.
As Nicole Scherzinger would
I was going to say, all we've got left is just one of the things, the napkins. That's it. Donatelier. We will put our review up as well. We did quite a comprehensive review, so we bought them. There's no way we could have reviewed them in the shop. It was that busy.
Oh yeah.
So we took them back. You'll recognise the backdrop, of course. So we took them back here and we did the review, or we tried all 4 of them.
Yeah, and I don't think. Oh, there was seating in there. There was seating in there, but it was towards the back.
No,
yeah,
I know, but
it was packed.
There's no way we could have done it.
No.
It was so loud. It was so noisy.
It was so busy,
and there was
so loud.
So many people in there, but you'll get to see the Donatelier video.
Yeah, they are really good donuts. Yeah, that's Oh, there's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. I've got to say, do you know what? It's so cold. And Marcus put some clothes to dry in the bathroom, and he's had to open the window. Now, he always keeps the 2 back windows open anyway in the back bedroom, so it's always cold upstairs. But I have to say, it is so cold. I thought we had gotten over this sort of cold weather. Not cold weather, but not as cold as this. It's like they're predicting it's going to snow again, and I'm just like, snow again. I suppose because I'm thinking of climate change and all of that, I just thought all our stuff happened earlier, so I wasn't expecting more to be happening now. But yeah, it's cold. I've got my heated boots on because it is so cold, and I had my heated blanket on earlier while I was sitting on the sofa. But yeah, this is what my mum got me last year or the year before. No, last year, I think. Yeah, so she got me this last year. No, not last year's in 2022. She got it for me in 2021. And and I've got to say, it just keeps me warm. Here is the drink. Now, do you know what happened? So there's 2 Starbucks near us, and I ordered some drinks. They accepted the drinks. The one that I ordered it from is a Starbucks that closes earlier than the other one, but it's closer than the other one. So I ordered the drinks. They accepted it. It took a while before it said awaiting whatever it is, awaiting confirmation, and then all of a sudden it said, yeah, we're going to deliver it. I thought, brilliant. Next thing you know, I check it. It's like, oh yeah, sorry, it's been declined. I was just like, oh, for goodness sake. So then I had to order it from another place. And the other place closes at 6:30. But sometimes if you order it half an hour before, they don't always accept the order. So yeah, it was just lucky.
Did you put the wrong card number in? Busted. That's why.
No, but why did they accept it first then?
Well,
and then declined it.
Well, that's their fault, obviously.
Because they shouldn't have accepted it then, if that was the case.
What I was noticing as well.
You get me?
No cakes. You forgot to put the cakes.
No, I didn't put the cakes in because I just thought, oh, do you know what? I've eaten the last of the other cakes, and then the other place didn't have your gingerbread that you like, but then I forgot to put the Stroop waffles in. I forgot to check to see if this one had.
It's okay.
Gingerbread anyway, but you'd already eaten gingerbread.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Now this one, you're drinking a new one.
Which one's this?
This one is the macadamia nut.
It does not taste like macadamia nut.
Oh really?
It just tastes like oat milk.
So, yeah, it's oat milk macadamia. It's macadamia nut.
No, it just tastes like oat milk. So
oat milk latte.
I would try it again because I think they've forgotten to put the shot in.
So Mark's meant to be trying
it just tastes like oat milk latte.
The new macadamia nut oat latte, and he just says it just tastes of latte.
Now we've done this before. Now you may have seen one of our videos where we tried the bubblegum flavor. So it was a bubblegum flavor frappuccino. This was in Starbucks. This was a few years ago because we got Tom.
Yeah,
Talk of the Tom.
Talk of the Tom.
He actually introduced us to it, so we thought we'd give it a go and review it. But what was funny, when I tried the first one, I said, this doesn't taste like bubblegum at all. This is very bland. Do you remember? So we went again and tried it again.
Oh,
it was totally different.
No, what happened was he didn't introduce us to it. I saw it online, went down there and got it and reviewed it. And then he emailed me and says, looks like we're the only two.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then I said to him, well, yours looks a lot bluer than what ours did.
And he photoshopped it. That was why.
Yeah, and he photoshopped it to make it look a bit more blue. But then what I did, I went back down because I said, because like if you go to a lot of restaurants and stuff like that, if you go one like this was a classic. The thing that when we were in Mauritius, I did a few times I did room service because I preferred the room service menu than actually going to the buffet.
You know what it is? Sorry, I was going to say, I think it's because it's all
you hadn't mixed it.
Yeah, it's all settled to the bottom. It's starting to taste a bit better.
Oh, right. Oh, I see. So it is tasting of macadamia nuts. Anyway, when we went to...
Anyway, sorry,
yeah, but you haven't stirred it. You haven't gotten a spoon to stir it. You're only just mixing it. So it's only mixing the bottom. It's not going to float to the top.
All right,
Anyway, so we went to... so when we were in Mauritius, I did room service a couple of times. And... one evening I got this burger and these chicken wings, and it was so delicious. I thought I was on it, and I thought, all right, you know what, later on in the week I'm going to order it again. So another time I ordered room service and I ordered the burger and the chicken wings. They weren't as nice as the first night. Different chef. Anyway, later on in the week I decided to order room service again, ordered the same thing again. It was delicious. And then I remember my sister-in-law going, stop getting room service and come and eat with us. She was getting upset that I was having room. That's not it. I'm having room service and come and eat with us. But the thing was, like, I feel like
Hey, hello Amanda. How are you?
Hey Amanda, I hope you're well.
How you been? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Which I know that was one of the other debates I was going to have. Sorry, later on. I go, when is it too late? When do you have to stop wishing people a Happy New Year?
I suppose when you haven't seen people, it's okay to say it, but I suppose people forget to say happy. Like when I was going into shops and stuff, we would say Merry Christmas, and people forget. Oh yeah, Merry Christmas. But when is it too early to say Merry Christmas, and when is it too late to say Happy New Year?
I will tell you exactly why. You can say Merry Christmas for me anytime from December the 1st to December the 25th.
Really?
Yeah. And for New Year, you can say Happy New Year anytime up to the 31st of January. That's my rule.
I think.
Which I do for myself and nobody else.
Christmas Eve. So in actual fact, the 23rd. Christmas Eve's Eve. I think from the 23rd, it's okay to say Merry Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I think any time before that seems just a bit too early, because I feel like things are closing down, like getting ready for the Christmas period. So I feel like the 23rd is the perfect time to be able to say Merry Christmas.
Maybe so. I mean, I've got to be honest, I don't think I've ever said Merry Christmas like the first week of December.
No, no one ever says it the first week of December.
No.
People say, oh, well, you're getting ready for Christmas, but they never say Merry Christmas.
I mean, the earliest we've ever hung decks up is end of November, not last year before.
Oh, did we hang it up?
Yeah. The thing is what I wanted to utilize them as long as possible, so I hung them up from December.
Well, I remember sort of a place where I worked, and he was saying that one of the guys was saying that his sister hung it up in the first week of November, and he got like really angry, and I was just like, well, I mean, that is a bit early, but who am I to say don't hang up Christmas decorations in November? November's like the best month. It's my birthday month.
Amanda says Happy New Year. I can't I think you can still say it up to the 31st of January. Thank you, Amanda. Exactly. I would be confused if someone said it in February. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you hadn't seen someone for ages and you saw them in March, you probably wouldn't say Happy New Year.
No, you wouldn't say Happy New Year, but you would say, oh, how did your new year go? I think that's probably what you would say. But I agree. I think to the 31st of January is okay if you haven't seen people. But I think if you've seen them, you can't say Happy New Year. Are you going to keep bringing up the napkin?
What napkin? What are you talking about? Sorry, I don't quite know what you're talking about. Oh, Amanda, we discovered this place. I keep raving about it. Donatelier. Now, you might think, why are you showing me a napkin? Because that's all that remains of these donuts. Give them a Google. You will not be disappointed. They are amazing. We will put our review
You will
up.
be disappointed if you don't live in London.
Oh yeah, well,
If you don't live in London, you will be disappointed. But yeah, it's a great little donut. I say little. It's actually and it's on a prime sort of like level, really. And there's a couple of eateries along there because you've got Boon Chic along there.
Yeah.
There was a Donut Time, but Donut Time would not be able to compare with Donatelier at the moment.
Well, it depends
Not
what you
on
want. Donut Time ones are huge. They're like that, and they're cheaper. So if you want substance, you would go for those. If you want, mind you, if you want the Maman, if you want the pièce de résistance, you will go for Donatelier. I've got to say, is the filling is the champion. For
Yeah.
The donut's good, but it's not as good as the bread ahead bread.
Yeah.
But the Donatelier. But you are right. If you took bread ahead bread,
the actual donut of bread ahead,
and then the filling of Donatelier,
yeah,
you would have an amazing
it
donut.
would be an epic donut. I'm telling you, if the people from Bread Ahead could get together with the people from Donatelier, that would be one.
But then would it though? Because the other thing I'm thinking of as well is oh, Amanda says you can have a look them up. Do have a look at them. I tell you something. So we will upload our review as soon as we can.
Yeah.
We only did it this weekend, so we've not had it. Well, Kelly's been doing the editing, so
yeah.
Kelly's not had a chance to edit it yet. But we did do a review. So we went in there. It was absolutely rammed, and I know full well that there was no way we could have done the review in the shop because it was just so busy. But we did come back here and do it.
You know what? They're open from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, 7 days a week.
Who's buying donuts at 8:30 a.m.?
8:30 to 10 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. Now I am impressed because those are sort of like, if you went to the States, normally it's open from 10 to 10.
Yeah.
So not like I say to the States, but whenever you're in Florida, it pretty much is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. pretty much. So yeah, exactly, insane hours. So to be open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. is absolutely crazy. That's the first thing. But secondly, if you think about it, they have to compete with, because not too far from there, you've got Arome and you've got Chestnut Bakery. Yeah. There's quite a few bakeries in the area. So if you know London well, from that point of origin, which is Charing Cross Road, you just go up sort of like, you're not too far from Longacre, you're not too far from Soho in the other direction, you're not too far from Chinatown. So you have to think you're competing with all of those other bakeries, right? In order to there's queues going out of your door. It's not going to be like that forever.
No.
So you have to utilize the time. Now, the problem with Donut Time is there's one everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like Krispy Kreme, right? Except they're not in the small towns yet.
And except they're good.
Yeah, and except
sorry, I can't stand Krispy Kreme donuts. Sorry, Krispy Kreme. Well, I'm not sorry because your donuts are naff.
But anyway, but yeah, so I think that to sort of they are on the right track. That is how, if I was a new business, that is how I would run my business. I would start very early, open up before all of the other, because Ollie and Steen is only across the road. So
yeah, that's true.
Ollie and so I was discussing this with a friend of mine because she was talking about opening up a tea shop, and the problem with towns now is you have things like I don't know, Starbucks, you have Costa, you have independent ones, you have Cafe Nero. Yep. So you've got lots of chain ones and a few independent ones. And I said to her, oh, you'll be competing with, you want to be careful where you open it, because you're going to be competing with, you know, and I mean, as I mentioned, Nero, Starbucks, Costa, the little independent. She goes, oh yeah, but mine is a completely different premise. In the sense, it's a completely different thing, but it's not a different premise. It's still a coffee shop, it's still a tea shop. So if you are essentially selling cakes, coffee, and tea, right? Forget about the sandwiches, but your main staple is going to be cake, coffee, and tea. You are competing with Costa, Starbucks, Nero, and whoever else. So unless you have a niche, like I've got an idea, but I'm not going to say it because it's $1 million, it's £1 million idea. So I'm not going to say it on here because one day we might try to do something like that. But I think that you would really have to have something that is completely different to, you know, now with Donatelier, although they sell donuts, their premise is a donut shop. They also do like croissants and other bits and pieces. But when you look at the donuts are epic. Like Saint Honoré looks wild.
So Saint Honoré, just to let you know, it's a donut with a choux pastry on top. So it's amazing. Have a look at that one as well. But you'll see it in our review which ones we try, and we did try Saint Honoré.
Yeah, but the thing with the choux pastry, it had caramelized sugar. No, not craquelin. Just caramelized sugar on the top. And so yeah, it's one of those things, and you could see her making them in the window as well.
Yeah, that's so one of the beauties of doing that is you can actually see them making as you go past the window. The same thing as you have with Bread Ahead. So Bread Ahead, their main bakery is right behind the store that they sell that's in the Borough Market one. So you can actually see that, and they just hand it literally through the window. The person grabs it and then puts it at the kiosk and you buy it. So it's just literally been baked.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's great about having the baking premises on the baking things on the same premise.
Yeah.
On the same. Let me start again. Having the place you bake them on the same premise.
On the premises.
Yeah.
On the premises.
V Singularity, hello.
Hey,
hello, guys. I'm glad to see you
Singularity.
live. They thought you might be not today. How was your weekend? It was good.
It was good. Yeah, sorry, we were a little bit late because the laptop was playing up again.
We were a little bit late. So V Singularity, we were just saying, we just discovered this. I was boring Amanda with it, but do have a Google that. Donatelier.
Yeah, I can't.
That's all that's left from the donuts, just a napkin.
I can't recommend them highly enough. The ones that we tried anyway. For us, there were other donuts that were better, but I think it's very much like Au Craquelin when we tried those little heart cakes. When you're ranking them against each other, but there wasn't a bad cake among them. It was just what your preference is. They were creamy, they were delicious. This is Au Craquelin, by the way. Creamy, delicious. They were so good. There wasn't a bad one. It was just as we're ranking them, what we would rank as number one. But you could pick any one of them and you won't be disappointed. And I feel like out of the 4 that we chose, again, you could pick either one of them and you wouldn't be disappointed.
True.
It's just that as we were ranking them, obviously we're ranking them against each other. So it's wow, the picture on their Instagram looks insanely good. It really is. Is it a new shop? Yes, it is. Siobhan, Mark's brother's girlfriend, she messaged me a couple of months. I want to say it was in November. And she goes, look what's just opened up. And I was like, oh my God, I have to go there and try it. But I'm sure it was something like November or December time.
Yes.
So I don't think it was that long ago.
No, I think it's quite new as well. Now, as Kelly was saying, so in central London, there are a lot of donut places. These places are popping up everywhere with pricey donuts. So you've already got Donut Time, which we've reviewed already. Crosstown Donut, we did a review a long time ago, but we must redo that one.
Yeah.
Pretty excuse for me to have more donuts. And then, so this is a new one that's popped up, Donatelier. Now, we were just saying to Amanda, it's really good when they make them on the premises. You can actually see in the window them making them and then filling up these donuts with the various different creams and fillings.
Yeah, creme pat and all of that.
The creme pat was delicious. Honestly, I can't wait for you to see the thing because we really enjoyed doing it. So I hope you enjoy the video too. Kelly has uploaded one of the shorts, but you only just see the inside of the place. You don't really see us review the donuts.
Yeah, no, I do a quick review on the donuts. I do a quick review on the donuts on TikTok, but not on YouTube Shorts.
Right, okay, so yeah.
So if you follow us on TikTok, you will get a very quick review, and I actually tell you which ones we prefer and stuff like that. The guy there that served us was brilliant. He was amazing. I can thoroughly recommend those donuts. But like I said in the video, I think the bread of the donut bread from Bread Ahead and the fillings of Donatelier, if you put them together,
Well, and also both those places, so Donatelier and Bread Ahead, make the donuts on site.
Yeah.
I believe Donut Time do not. So they are made in Reading, and I believe they are shipped in then to central London
To
and
the
they get to
stores,
stores. But yeah,
right.
they're not baked on premises. Doesn't really affect the freshness because they are baked the same day and then delivered the same day. But obviously, just having it, watching it there, you know that they are fresh.
They're fresh.
And they were going like anything, weren't they? So we were saying, oh, you know, the guy was, you see the guy was shouting at the back, I'm out of these ones, I'm out of Black Forest, I'm out of this. So of course they were just trying to bake them and fill them as quick as possible.
Yeah,
but
it was crazy.
But as Kelly said, the opening hours are mad. 8 a.m.
8:30.
8:30 a.m. all the way up to 10 p.m.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, who's buying donuts at 8:30 a.m.? I suppose you're taking them to work.
No, but you know what they're doing? They're catching the people before they go to work.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That could be the only thing I think of.
Yeah,
people just going into work and then.
But like I said, this is what I'm talking about with businesses, like places like Arome and places like Chestnut Bakery. Not so much Chestnut, but mainly Arome. I don't know if Chestnut is open 7 days a week, but Arome is open 5 days a week, right? So they close on Monday and Tuesday. If I want to go into London and go to Arome Bakery, I can't on a Monday or a Tuesday because they're closed. And to me, it's bizarre. It's bizarre when you're running a bakery establishment. It's different if it was in a small town, but you're in the center of London. It's in a prime location. It's in the yards, right? And you close 2 days a week, Monday and Tuesday. Monday, why on earth you would close on a Monday is bizarre to me, because Monday is the day when you get all the workers, they really hate going into work and stuff like that. And so now, don't get me wrong, since lockdown, like a lot of people there's a lot of people that don't work Mondays and there's a lot of people that don't work Fridays these days. So those are your quieter days in London, I guess. But there's so many tourists. There's so many tourists. Why on earth would you close 2 days of the week? That's mad.
So V Singularity said, so were there a lot of people? I imagine a place like that must have a long queue. Oh my word, it was busy. So we went on Sunday. I reckon we would have got there about 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah, about 5ish, yeah.
Yeah, and it was absolutely rammed. Now this somebody pushed in front of Madame here, so she was not happy. But yeah, the queue was huge, and the problem is with the queue is one of those things that there's no obvious queue, so everyone's rammed at the front. So I just formed a sort of a queue with somebody else, and I was going around, but this blonde girl pushed me.
I was filming, right, and it took all of my mind, because lately, like, things have been happening, and I just think to myself, well, nobody's calling out anybody on this sort of like behavior. And like, there's a couple of things, I'm not going to go into it, but there's a couple of things that recently that has been happening, and I'm just like, are these people for real? Like, for real? And so she had pushed in. Now, I genuinely thought she was only coming to film, like some people come to film and then they go back to where they were standing. Now, they were talking in the European language, and I believe I knew which European language it was, but regardless, whatever. And I know what her boyfriend was thinking. Oh yeah, she'll go, because she does this on the regular. Oh, I'm just small, I'll just slip in and all of this type of stuff. And I like,
that did not go down with
I really wanted to say something, and I really did.
I'm surprised you didn't actually.
Do you know what? I don't know what it is. Like, sometimes I just think, let's just have a bit of decorum. Like, sometimes I do feel that way.
You were the bigger person.
Do you know what? Let's just have a bit of decorum. And I was just like, but you know when something is welling up inside you, that, like, she caught me. I tell you what, sometimes people catch me at the wrong time, right? And it's not the wrong time, but sometimes I can just blurt something out. And sometimes, like, if you were ever to meet my cousin he just doesn't stop, right? He'll just let it out.
Alicia said, "Ghetto me" would have come out. Hi, Alicia.
Yeah, hey, Alicia. And I like it really was there. It really was. I don't know what stopped me, but it really was there to say, "Excuse me, you need to get to the." It's because it's not the first time I have said that to people before.
Well, I did that on your behalf, didn't I? Do you remember when we were in Mauritius?
Yeah.
So we were queuing up for something, and this woman just barged in front of Kelly. I thought,
it's only because I'm little.
And I looked behind just to talk to her. No, there was this woman here. I thought, what? I said, there's a queue. She said, oh, I just want that. Yeah, we all just want that. It's a queue.
I understand why she pushed in, because there was one more thing there. Luckily, we didn't want it, because I would have said something. But no, there was one more cake there, and it was like a cookies
Yeah, but
one.
there's no excuse to push in.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't agree with pushing in. You know, we're in Britain. You know what Britain's like. We love a queue, right? We love a queue. Let's just be real. And you get in a queue. I remember I was in Canada once, and there was a queue, and I said to my friend, "Come on, let's go queue." I didn't know what it was. I was like, "Let's go queue." She goes, "No, I'm sure you have to pay." And I was going, "What, to join a queue?" She's like, "No, I don't know what. I can't remember what it was for. I don't know." But yeah, we didn't end up queuing. But yeah, you know, it's just a sense of like, and I really wanted to say something, and I was there, and I just thought, but what if I blurt out something and it's just a bit. Like sometimes I do have to stop myself, but sometimes somebody can catch me unawares, and I'll just say, "What? Excuse me." But then sometimes someone can catch me, and I'll just be shocked.
There's a book called How to Be an Alien, which is written by a French person living in Britain, and it was his experience of the British. And when it came to queuing, he said the Brits love to queue. He said even if you've got a guy on his own with nobody else around, waiting at a bus stop, the Englishman will form himself into a neat, orderly queue just to get onto the bus. I think that is so true.
But it's just like, be nice. Just be like aware, and just don't like come with your ways. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't be bothered to queue, or because you don't want to queue, or whatever. And I just think, you know, it annoys me. Like, don't get me wrong, we've all done things before. We've all sort of done things that maybe we shouldn't. Like we pushed in maybe where we shouldn't, and all of this. But I feel like,
anyway, that's not the part of the Donatelier. The main thing.
And I told the man.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to be bothered.
No, he wasn't bothered.
So the Donatelier. So again, I should put that there because it was that good. Donatelier. That's where we went. Those were the donuts. They were amazing. Do Google them, and do please watch our video when it comes out, because we will do a full review on the 4 donuts that we did try.
No more of the napkin now.
Oh, I can't promise that, I'm afraid.
No more of the napkin. We're only like, I don't even know how long in we are into this chat, and I don't know how many times you've put up the napkin. We're only like 32 minutes in, and you've put up the napkin. I don't know how many times now.
If anybody puts the word napkin in the chat, I will carry on doing it.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
So yeah, so that was our experience as well. But yeah, definitely recommend that. It was really, really good. Also as well, guys, what we did do at the weekend before donut, believe it or not, because sometimes we do sweet times first. When we taken Janai out, we end up doing sweet first, then we go for savoury. But
I can't do it that way. I have to have savoury first.
Oh no. Janai will definitely wants a napkin. There we go. Thank you, Alicia. So Donatelier.
Alicia, you're gonna get a punch.
So anyway, no violence. Anyway, so when we take Janai as well, I
didn't agree to that.
We always start off with a frappuccino. He wants his cookies and cream frappuccino, and then we go for something savoury, but always sweet first. And then because that's just where we get off at Charing Cross, and then we go that way, and then he'll want that first. Do you want that? Yeah. The cookies and cream. Yeah. So and then we do that. But this time we did the savoury first, and we went to Pizza Pilgrim. So Pizza Pilgrim is in Soho. It was a pizza place we wanted to try. What was interesting is the one in Soho has got pictures of famous people that have been there. And Jason Momoa was actually filmed. They got photos of him all over the place, of him in, I think he must have been shooting a movie at that time.
He was shooting a movie here, I think. And I remember it popping up on my TikTok when he was here, and he went into Pizza Pilgrims. I remember it. And when I saw the photo on the wall, I said, oh yeah, I saw that on TikTok. And then I think later on I showed you on TikTok that Jason Momoa was there. And but I've got to say, we were looking to go to Burger and Beyond. That was our original plan to go to Burger and Beyond. But when we got there, for some reason there was like space. Oh yeah, it's going to be like a 40-minute wait. Why is it going to be a 40-minute wait? You've got tables there. Oh yeah, you know, because of the chef in the kitchen and all of this. And I just thought, oh okay, let's leave here. And then we didn't have a plan B. Now in Soho there are plenty of places to eat, But a lot of places now you have to book to go in. It's just the way that it is. And there were a couple of places that I had on my list, but they are to go with other people because I know the portion sizes aren't really Mark's thing. So I had a whole list, and I just thought, oh, but the list is, oh, I'll go there with this friend and I'll film, and I'll go that with that friend and film. And so we kind of didn't have a plan B. And in my mind, I thought, well, if worst comes to us, I suppose we can, because we tried a couple of places, but I suppose worst comes to worst, we can go to Japes again and try that, because we haven't been there for a couple of years.
No, we haven't as well. We did do a video for Japes, if you do check it out, but Japes are the one with a really thick pizza, so they're real deep. They're almost like a pizza pie. But it's very nice as well. We wanted to do somewhere different.
Yeah.
So the thing is as well, for anybody thinking of going to Burger and Beyond, so Burger and Beyond do have a special where they do unlimited burgers. So for £40 per person, you can have as many as you like. But what was weird is when we got there, like I said, we said let's book, and we looked at the seating plan, and it said it was pretty much free. So we went there.
Yeah,
and there were loads of spare tables, but they weren't letting us in.
Yeah, it was a bit weird because there were other people that were before us as well.
Yeah,
who'd gone in, and they were telling, like, I don't understand businesses that turn away business. It's an alien concept to me. Yeah.
So they were saying, oh no, there's a 40-minute wait, and I do get it, because I think what they're saying is the chef couldn't keep up with demand. But then if that is the case, why have you got so many tables if you can't keep up with demand? Just have fewer tables.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, by the time they sit you down and then they wander off and then they get you a drink and then you've chosen, that's already 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And then you're telling me I've got to wait 40 minutes to sit down, to then wait another 20 minutes before someone's taking my order. And then it just doesn't make sense.
So if you are looking to go to Burger and Beyond, make sure you book.
Yeah. I think that's the deal with a lot of places nowadays, is to make sure that you book and go.
Yeah.
It's just that we woke up on the Sunday and we didn't really have a plan.
Yeah.
And then I was researching in the morning, and because we weren't sure, because like if the weather was going to be rubbish, I wasn't going to go out. And it was bright in the morning, and then as we were heading out, it sort of like did that sort of spitty, horrible type rain, but not quite raining. And then by the time we got off, it was raining a bit, and it was just like one of these things. And we walked in, and then I just thought, oh, and I knew where it was, and I just thought, we passed Donatelier, and I said, oh, this is Donatelier, we got to go here later. So then we ended up at Pizza Pilgrims. Now, I've got to say, when I was not impressed with the outside. I just thought, oh God, and they got tables outside. Does that mean we have to sit outside? And then it's only because Mark saw somebody going down the stairs.
No, it does say, I'm completely missed it, because I must be blind as a bat, but there's there was a sign saying more seating downstairs, but I missed that logo.
In neon pink, by the way.
Yeah, and I missed it, but I did see someone going down the stairs. I thought, oh, okay. And that's what, because when you look at it from the outside, it just looks like a takeaway place. There's one little bench where there's enough room for 2 people maximum
to sit at the window.
And that is it. And I thought, well, I don't want to sit there. But then I saw someone going downstairs. I thought, oh, they've got seating downstairs. So if you are in Soho, is it on Dean Street? I forgot where it was now.
No, it's
have a think. So it's whatever street it is in Soho. Just be wary, because it looks like there's no room in there, but there is. You have to go down the stairs to go to the restaurant.
Yeah, it's not on Dean Street, and it's not on the same street as Minalima either. It's on the same street as Japes.
I did. We'll find that anyway.
Yeah,
it's on the video. I did make reference to the actual street where it was, so we will have a little look at that.
Not sure. Yeah, but yeah, it's so we went in and we went downstairs, and it's this sort of like rustic, film vibe type place. It's really, the seating is very, so like the seating spread out, but in certain corners. So we a table for 2. The table is not big enough for 2. The table is big enough for 1 person. Let me just put you right there. So if you go down there and it's like empty-ish, which luckily when we went, it was empty-ish. And if there's 2 of you, for sure get a table that is bigger than 2 for 2 people, because the tables that they were putting 2 people on is big enough for 1. And we had 2 drinks, we ordered garlic bread, and we ordered 2 pizzas, and that would not have fitted on 1 table.
No,
on the table that we were on originally. So where we were, and I was squeezing in, and oh god, so when we were walking down the road, so we were walking the main part of Soho. We were actually on Wardour Street, actually. So walking along Wardour Street, and this guy, so Mark and I, because we were looking to see where we were going, this guy was like, oh, for God's sake, and then walked around us. And I was just like, there's plenty of room to walk around. There's no need to say for God's sake or anything. You know, you can just step in the road. And so it's just one of them days, I think, that people were having. It was, you know, it was a rainy day. People were looking for somewhere to eat. He was probably hangry and all of this. So yeah, I'm wondering if it was on Wardour Street, actually. It might have been. I'll have a look.
Anyway.
So yeah, so we anyway, we decided to go to Pete's Pilgrims. So we went downstairs and we were sitting in one little table, and I said to Mark, do you know what? I think we'll move. Let's ask her if we can sit in the middle table. So we went and we sat. We asked her, she said, yeah, that's fine. So we went and sat on the middle table. And it was great. Who walked in? That guy.
Yeah, the guy.
And I just thought of all the places, in all the bars in all the world. That was an Australian accent. I don't know why, because it's an American accent. I'm thinking of Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, I just thought of all the places in all of Soho, you end up at Pizza Pilgrims where we were. I was like, oh, anyway, yeah. So we did a bit of filming in there. I forgot to bring the camera, by the way. So it's all done on my phone camera, not on our actual camera. Yeah, because I forgot to bring. Well, we didn't forget to bring the camera.
No,
what happened was
the camera. Somebody took the SD card out of it.
So basically the SD card was in my laptop because I had been working on it, and I forgot to put it back in the camera. But equally, the spare SD card was not in there because I don't even know where the spare SD card is.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, which should have been in the case in case the normal SD card runs out, then we could use that one. But anyway, so I ended up filming on my phone. So if it's a bit shaky or the volume's not that great on it or whatever, it's because it was filmed on the camera phone.
There we are. But there we go. That will come up soon as well. So that's on our pizza review on Pizza Pilgrim.
And I've got to say, if you guys, we thoroughly recommend it, by the way.
Yeah,
it was really good. If you're looking to get extra toppings on your pizza.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. So normally, as you know, if you're going for a normal pizza place, each topping is roughly, so say for example, I don't know, you've got cheese and tomato and you wanted to add sweet corn to it, they normally charge you for every additional topping anything between 75p to about £1.50.
Yeah.
This place was £3 to £3.50 for every additional topping. And I thought, I'm just going to stick to the one I've got.
Imagine you got 2 toppings. That's an extra £6.
7 if it's £3.50.
If it's £3.50, it'd be 7. Yeah. I was so shocked. I was just like, what?
Well, for 3 extra toppings, you might as well just buy another pizza.
Yeah. I mean, the pizza that I got was like £13 something, and the pizza you got was like £10 something.
Yeah.
So the prices I felt were really reasonable for fresh pizza. The dough was really good.
It was really good.
The pizza was really good. But I just felt like, what? That is just so expensive. Like £3, £3.50. The only thing that was cheaper was like if you wanted extra garlic, that was 75p. But if you wanted extra tomatoes, it was something like £2.50. What tomatoes? Chopped up tomatoes extra on your pizza, £2.50.
So that's the prices going up. But yeah, so just be wary if you are going there, and just be wary if you do like to have a certain type of pizza with a few extra toppings. Just bear that in mind. You're probably better off economically just getting another starter.
Yeah.
And the starter was nice. So we had the garlic bread, and it was proper doughy garlic bread. Which is what I like. I did consider getting the mac and cheese deep fried balls, but I didn't get those in the end.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, just be wary. For as far as I could see, they don't do desserts at Pizza Pilgrim.
No, they did. They did
do
desserts. It was on the front page.
Oh, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, they did do desserts.
No, my mistake. I saw a dessert cocktail, which I thought,
no, they did 3 desserts. One was a cheesecake.
Oh, I didn't see that at all.
And then there were 2 other ones, I think. I did put them on the camera, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I do have them.
I'm glad you filmed that. I missed that completely.
Yeah.
So ignore me. The only thing is we didn't do dessert because we went off to Napkin Donatelier. She said napkin, so I'm allowed Donatelier.
Yeah, she said napkin, and then you showed the napkin, and now you're showing. No one said napkin. You're showing the napkin.
I'm sure someone else saying napkin again. But yeah, so we went to Donatera afterwards. So that's why we didn't do dessert there. But...
Yeah. And
oh my God, we went to Major Shoe as well, didn't we? So we went there as well.
I always feel a little bit let down with places that do food and dessert. Like I feel like unless you're going to a restaurant, and I don't mean a restaurant like Co or what's the other one, Prezzo or Pizza Express or something like that. If I go to those type of restaurants, I'm always disappointed with the dessert. And like I don't feel like a lot of pizza places would do great dessert, because I feel like if you specialize in something, you don't normally specialize in the dessert. And there are lots of places now that specialize in dessert. So like things like Donatelier, things like Donut Time, things like...
Well, actually, that was going to be my question. So I'm going to put that out there. When you guys go to a restaurant, do you go for food and then dessert at that restaurant? Or do you just go for a main or starter and main, or just main at your restaurant and then go somewhere else for dessert? What's your norm there? So Kelly and I, not always, but a lot of times, we will tend to go for the main, starter and main or main at one restaurant, and then we go somewhere else for dessert, especially in central London.
That's if we're in London, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, you said especially if we're in central London. But yeah, if we're in London, like if we were local and I liked the look of the dessert, then I'd probably go. Like if you're taking me to Wagamama's, I'm getting that white chocolate and ginger cheesecake.
Funny enough, that was going to be the one difference will be there. That's the one exception, because Kelly loves, that's one of her favorites desserts.
So good. If anybody goes to Wagamama's, I thoroughly recommend the white chocolate and ginger cheesecake. So good.
Or you could, well, so good that you left it in the fridge.
Yeah, but that was a mistake. I didn't see it in there, and you've left lots of things in the fridge. Thank you.
So anyway, so that's putting it out there. What do you guys do? Will you go out and have the main starter and main, or just main somewhere and then go somewhere else to dessert? Or do you just do the whole thing in a restaurant? Maybe you don't have dessert. Maybe that's something you don't have. Maybe you have coffee or tea and biscuits.
Yeah, cheese and crackers or something. Yeah. Because some people aren't like, I think some people do like a starter and a main, or a main and dessert. Sometimes they don't have all three. So it just depends. And sometimes people like savory more than sweet, so they might do the cheese and crackers if that's on offer. And I really do think it's about what you like as a person. But I always find that majority of the time I get disappointed with the desserts in a restaurant.
Agree. I've got to say, the number of times we do, you order something like cheesecake, and the picture's this huge, great big wedge, and you think, oh, I'm going to get that, it's going to be delicious. And this minuscule little slither, as if they go, and then comes out, and I just think, and that's £7, and I've got for this tiny little thing.
But it's not even that. It's not even about the size. It's about the taste. Like I like if I go to an all-you-can-eat restaurant, it's rare that I will enjoy the dessert.
But to be fair, for an all-you-can-eat restaurant, the buffets especially, they're going to be bought in. They're going to be bought in desserts. They haven't got time to do the mains and the desserts, so they'll probably cook the mains, and they'll have all the desserts will be So it's probably they bought it in a massive slab. They cut it into little squares, and then you just help yourself. But they're not going to have time to be, if they're constantly cooking mains, they're not going to have time to do desserts. They're literally going to have that all pre-bought in.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like if it's a dessert station, why don't you have time? It's a dessert station. It's like when you go to the Wicked Spoon or whatever, they're making it all on the premises.
Not the desserts, they won't. And also, no, they wouldn't do. And also as well, unless it's the hot desserts, because then you've got to cook them. But the cold ones, you can tell that they've been pre-made.
I bet you any money if we Google the Wicked Spoon.
All right. Well, that's all right.
And the Ned make them.
Yeah, the Ned do.
The Ned make them.
The Ned do make them, and that's very, very nice. But I do think your average buffet is going to do pre-made.
I can believe that. Yeah, like Cosmos or JRC or something.
Well, and I've got to be fair. That's what I would do. If I was the owner of a buffet and you've got all these chefs, they're going to be cooking the mains. The desserts, because they're cold, most of them, not all, but most of them, you don't need to keep them making, because you can keep them cold pretty much throughout the evening.
Yeah, but I feel like if you are promoting something, you should be making everything on the premises. But that's just me.
Well, no, it doesn't. Well, I can see what they do that to cut costs. Anyway, so putting it out to there, you guys, what do you like to do? Do you do dessert? Does everybody not bother anymore? Has anybody gone out or just done dessert and nothing else? So we have, but only at certain places, though. Do you know what? Also, is what I was watching a YouTube thing with an American couple I watched, which the name escapes me. They're a couple. They and what they do is they sort of go. They basically travel constantly and do their YouTube.
Oh, right.
And they wanted to have a British dessert. So I forget what it was, jam roly poly or something like that.
Okay.
And they went to a pub and they said, all we want is jam roly poly. And they said, no, you have to, we don't just do dessert.
Oh, really?
And they kicked them out. So we're not kicked them out, but they said, no, we won't serve you like that. And I have heard of places actually that won't do that. You can't just go in and order dessert and nothing else.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So has anybody had that experience? I'm sure I've had that once.
I've never had that.
You don't. They just said we don't just do dessert. So you, especially, I think that would be more if they're really busy. So if they're really, really busy, they with the cup, and you can imagine that if they want with the cup.
Yeah, it's possible, but I've never. But the thing is, you would finish dessert very quickly.
No, that's it. That's true. But
yeah.
then
So then but then you've made a sale. Plus you saving it for the next person.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yes and no, because if you think about it. It depends if somebody's there going for time. So
because a dessert is anything between £7 and £10.
Well,
or more in some cases.
Well, it depends, isn't it? So say somebody went in there and they just had a dessert and they really took their time with it because they're just using it to kill time. That's the other thing. I suppose it's not like a coffee shop where someone can buy one cup of coffee and spend the entire day there.
Someone could just get started and sit there and not have a main.
Well, that's what.
And it'd be the same premise.
That's what happened to that guy's coffee shop I was telling you about. He couldn't compete because he was saying what was happening was students go in there, they just buy one cup of coffee. Of course, he's relying, because it's his business, he's relying on turnover. But, you know, they'll sit there all day with this coffee. Poor guy. And then, of course, you know, he's not making the sales because they're taking up space in that place.
Yeah, but what you would put stipulations in place, but you would have a corner that is just for students.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
you're over there because you're a student. No, you're over there. You're an old person.
No. But what I'm saying is, you have a corner with all. So there's a place that we go for brunch regularly in town, and they cater for students. So like in the day, the students can go. And I told you I was there on my own. Yeah, this was last year.
He only had a very small shop. It's not like he could do that.
Yeah, I don't know. There are ways you can make things work and turn things to your advantage, because you also have to think about, well, how many people are going to be out in the day? I think you have to think. I think when you're running a business, you have to know who your market is and who your target audience
that's
is.
Very, very true. Because I think if you don't know your target audience, you won't last very long. That's so important. Things like when's your busiest time.
Yeah.
Because this is the science behind it is really interesting. I always find, especially with restaurants, because you'll notice that they were saying one thing. I read an article. I think I said this before, but it was written by a range of chefs, and they asked these chefs, give us your guide on eating out. What should and shouldn't you do? And some of the shouldn'ts are, and these are all recommendations by chefs, is never have the special as one. And they said the reason why is the special is normally the stuff they can't get rid of. And they gave an example. They said, so for example, if a steak came in on Monday, so Monday will be steak night. Then Tuesday will be probably steak night as well, to get rid of the steaks they haven't got. Wednesday, if they still get steaks over, will be steak and ale pie. So that's cutting up all those steaks. Then going through the weeks, by Thursday, Friday, towards the end, it'll be chef's special will be something like steak casserole or something like that. So basically, it's all the stuff they couldn't sell in the previous day. So never have the special was one. And the other recommendation, what I thought was interesting, was never order chicken. And the reason they're saying is when you go to a restaurant, part of the reason what you're paying for is the skill of the chef. So when you've got like a very expensive dish, the chicken isn't something special come out from, or a specially bred chicken. It's just the chicken, or it's just the beef, whatever you've ordered. You're paying for the skill of the chef. That chef has cooked it a certain way. and that's why it's expensive. So they said when you order chicken, chicken is one of the most blandest meats. It's very easy for the chef to overcook, not because they're incompetent, because they said it's a boring thing to cook. And plus, it's just plain. You can get it anywhere. So that was the other one. Don't order chicken.
Right. Okay.
So, oh my God, it's Gloria.
Oh,
how are you?
What time of the morning is it there? Thank you for staying up and joining us. It's been so long. I hope you're well.
It's really
Happy
nice.
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. It's really nice to hear from you. How are things in Singapore?
Wow, 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 wow. I bet it's late there. But thank you for joining us. I hope you're well. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, did you enjoy? Was it good? And how's it been? What's the weather been like that? We've asked about 9 questions, so we will let you digest that and come back to us. 3 a.m. Oh my God, Happy New Year.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Oh, it's so nice of you to join us as well. I know it's very late for you there.
Oh, look, 3 a.m. Thank you for joining us.
And Keegan, hello. Hi, Mark and Kelly.
Hey, Keegan.
I'm good. How are you? How are things today? What have you been up to?
So we were just talking about sort of like restaurants and starters, mains, desserts, that sort of thing. But yeah, I if I'm hungry enough, I will have all 3 courses. I'll have a starter, a main, and a dessert. But sometimes if I'm not that hungry, then sometimes I'll have a main and a dessert.
Oh, so Gloria said, I finally went on holiday in December to Korea after 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, it's been that long.
Did you have a nice time?
Do you know what? I always think of you because funny enough, when we go past Boonshik,
yeah.
Boonshik, we were there on Sunday, actually. I was just saying, so I'm going to do it again. We were there at the Donatelier, that's all that's left, with donuts, but that's right next to Boonshik.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just doing that, but I always think of you when we go past there as well, because you were the one that helped us pronounce it properly.
Yeah, the pronunciation.
Oh, you've been at school today. It was good. Good.
Oh, good.
And I was half expecting you to have gone to McDonald's and then come back. So I know once in a while you do go there after school.
Yeah.
And did you say you were doing a live, Keegan? You said you were going to do a live yourself, but I don't know if you went ahead with it. I don't know. So do let us know if you are and when you're planning on doing it.
So what's everybody's favorite type of cuisine? What's your favorite type of cuisine?
Need I ask?
Cuisine, not favorite food.
So yeah, probably Italian. I would say because pizza is my favorite.
Yeah.
Food, so
other than pizza, what else sort of Italian do you like?
Can't say that. What's your favorite color?
I said, what's your
blue.
favorite cuisine?
Other than blue, what's your favorite color?
A cuisine is more than one dish. It's the actual cuisine.
So Charlie said hello to his brother. That's so sweet, says Gloria. I want to get to London hopefully this year or next year.
Oh wow, let us know.
Please, if you yes. Please, Gloria, we'd love to see you. Like I said, if you do come to London.
Oh,
that's if you want to, of course.
Of course.
You don't have to meet with us if you don't want to.
Trust me, London can be very rainy, but if you come in the summertime, like we've had really good summer. There's times when we haven't had great summers. Like 2020 was a really great summer. 2021 not so great. 2022 was a really great summer.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
I pined for that. So during lockdown 2020 especially, we had sun from April all the way over to October.
Yeah.
It was one of the best ones we ever, and it was lockdown, so I could enjoy it out in the garden.
I was suffering, so I had caught COVID and was just convalescing in the garden during the whole of the summer. But it was so nice. I sat down outside. I enjoyed the sun. But 2021 wasn't so great. It rained. It rained from Christmas, New Year time all the way to the following Christmas, New Year. And I was just like, oh my word. But this year, last year, 2022, we had a really good summer.
Yeah, so Keegan said, his favorite is rice and curry. Is that your favorite?
Wow. So Indian is your favorite, is it?
Well, not necessarily.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Curry could be any different type, but yeah, so rice and curry is his favorite.
Wow.
Kelly cooked a very nice curry today, actually. It's very, very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's my favorite, probably Italian style. Although I do like a whole wide range of cuisine. Gloria said, I would bother you much if I ever get there. You guys would be so bored of me. Oh, we would never be bored.
We wouldn't.
Do you know what? There would be so many places we'd like to take you.
Yeah, for sure. Take you all around London and stuff like that. But there's so many grab and go places, and then there's so many sit down and eat places.
Yeah.
So it's it's so tricky, food wise, I suppose. And like lately, there's always something new opening up.
Yeah.
So like Donatelier's one that we went to, but they opened a second Boon Chic store. So on Villiers Street, like if anyone knows London very well, from Embankment Tube Station going up towards Charing Cross train station, there is Villiers Street, and they've opened a Boon Chic there on Villiers Street. But I've got to say, Boon Chic there, the Korean hot dogs are not as good as the one on Charing Cross Road.
So Gloria said, my favorite cuisine is Malaysian or Indonesian for sure. They're so flavorful.
Yeah, Malaysian. I've got to say, there is an Australian. Apparently, she won MasterChef Australia. You were saying, Marion Grasby.
Oh yeah.
There's a lady called Marion Grasby, and I've got to say, every time I watch her do a recipe, one of the recipes that she did was one that I did today, but I put my own twist on it, so I added a lot more things to it. But she does a prawn Malaysian curry. And so she shows you how to use it, but then I add lots of other things to the curry. But I've got to say that is her base that I use, and then add things to it.
You might get a fan with Keegan, because Keegan's favorite is rice and curry, so he might be You might like Kelly's rice and curry, Keegan.
You might, but I think his is probably more.
We don't know.
I don't know. I'm thinking more yours. The stuff that you like is probably more Indian based. But we have in Mauritius, we have a big Chinese influence. So a lot of it is a fusion between Indian and Chinese.
Well, actual fact, Gloria, that would be good, because, like I said, if we went to a Malaysian or Indonesian restaurant in London, you could guide us, because I wouldn't have a clue what to order.
I think it would taste very, very different to what you're used to. Like, I think every country sort of caters to the taste palette of that country, and so I don't think things would be as spicy.
I disagree, because I'll tell you why. I have seen reviews in Chinatown, London Chinatown, by Chinese people on YouTube, and they said it's incredibly authentic.
But that's slightly different.
Gloria said, I love all curries, no discrimination.
My favorite, I have got to say, is Thai green curry. I really, really love it. Like, especially if it's done well, because there are some places. Not my favorite. There are some places that do it, and it tastes a little bit soapy, and I don't like it. But there are other places that do it. There was a place that we ordered from the other day. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. There used to be another one in near St John Street in the city, but that one closed down. But that Thai green curry was so good. And then there's another place called Grab Thai, but I think unfortunately Grab Thai might have gone into administration. I'm not sure, but I used to go Grab Thai. That was always pretty good. I like it. Them not too spicy, but I like the spiciness that stays in the mouth, not the one that goes into your tummy. I don't like that.
Gloria said, did you guys do any cool restaurants during the holidays? Also, she loves the Thai eggplant, the round ones. I've never tried the Thai eggplant.
Aubergine, yeah.
So I've got, we call it aubergine.
We call it aubergine.
Yeah, but I know what you mean, eggplant. So now restaurants, we've been really bad, Gloria. We've been really, really bad. Not bad in not doing that, but bad in going to the really sweet places. We've done loads of cake shops. So if you ever get a chance, do check out some of our videos. We go to loads of different cake shops in London. Some of our favorites as well. So we've done Gales, we've done Chestnuts, we've done Arome.
Yeah. So we've been doing a lot of pastry-based bakeries. So we went to Ollie and Steen, but I've got to admit I didn't really rate Ollie and Steen.
I thought they were all right, but like I said, these places again, if you do come to London, we'll take you to if you like cakes.
Yeah.
Keegan said, "Oh, we love eggplant." Oh, you do like aubergine.
So do I. When I do gâteau brésil, which is like a fried aubergine, like it's like an aubergine fritter. Yeah, I love that.
That's really good. So what Kelly does is she cuts the aubergine or the eggplant into very small little discs, round discs, dips them in batter, then deep fat fry those. But it's a
shallow fry, yeah,
shallow fry them. But it's with it's with gram flour.
Yeah.
So that's what you use to do the actual batter. But yeah, so think of fish and chips, but instead of the fish, it's the aubergine slice. But it's very, very nice. I do like that as well. Yeah. Very good with the sweet chili dip.
Yeah, with sweet chili sauce. ooh, I'm thinking, oh, I should make them. But like, yeah, I have to be in the mood. Like, I have to be in a certain mood to cook certain things.
Yeah.
And I have to be in the mood to bake. Like, sometimes I'm not, I think, oh God, I've got to go and bake whatever. So I have to be in the mood to bake, and I have to be in the mood. Like, to do the Chinese that I did, to do the Malaysian curry that I did today, because I knew I wanted to put a lot in it, I had to be in the mood to do it. Like, it's not just one of those things I think, oh yeah, I'm going to do that today.
So Keegan, what dishes do you like with aubergine or eggplant in them? Is there a particular one you like, or you just like to try the taste of it when it's fried?
Well, do you want to tell them about the pizza that you had?
Oh yeah, so that's what I had, funny enough. So as I said, one restaurant we went to, as I was saying, on the weekend, is called Pizza Pilgrim. So it's a relatively famous one in Soho in central London. And I had the eggplant, or the aubergine as we call it, pizza. So what they do is they cut the aubergine into little slices, and then they bake that first, then put the baked eggplant or aubergine on the pizza. And that was really, really good. But the pizza was delicious. So I definitely recommend that one. If you go to Pizza Pilgrims in central London, try the aubergine or eggplant. Well, it's very, very nice, the pizza.
Yeah, there was a place that I went to a good few years ago now with a friend of mine. And we went into this sort of like cafe, and they did stuffed aubergine, right? It was the best thing I had ever. It was so good. So good. And it's such a shame because we never went back, and I think they've closed. I think that cafe's closed. But it was the stuffed aubergine that they did was so good.
Oh, Gloria said it was my birthday last week. Oh, happy
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday.
And I had a Japanese yakitori, which was also super nice.
Oh, now what type of Japanese yakitori did you have? Like, Wags do them. It's not going to be as authentic as what you had, but they did chicken yakitori. So it was like chicken on skewers. Is that something similar? Or
so Wagamama's is basically a British Japanese fusion place. So it's not authentic Japanese food.
It's not authentic.
It's very much designed for British taste.
Yes.
So that's what Wagamama's is. Keegan said, I like Chinese food. I try it in Scunthorpe. So yeah, so that's one of Kelly's favorite. Kelly loves Chinese. What's your favorite from the Chinese, Keegan? What would you order if you were to have Chinese? Gloria said, oh, aubergine on pizza sounds like a fabulous idea. Actually, it's amazing. It was really good. Sometimes with aubergine is when you fry it, it gets a bit oily, but this was not oily at all because it's baked.
Because I think the thing with aubergine, it can soak up a lot of things, so you have to be careful, obviously, how you prepare it, how you cook it, how you this, how you that. But yeah, as long as you're sort of like know what to do with it, then yeah, it can be really, really good.
So Keegan was saying he likes Chinese food. That's his favorite as well. So your favorite is Indian and Chinese. If you had to go for one, what would it be? So if someone said to you, it's your birthday, you can have what you want, what are you going to go for? Are you going Chinese or are you going Indian? That would be interesting to see what you do. Go on, so you were saying?
What does Spark say?
So we had kinds of we had kinds of skewers, chicken, pork, and mushroom.
And asparagus.
Oh yeah, it said. Oh, and she said, "Oh, Keegan, I love Chinese food too. Love the wok dishes. I'd love to take you actually as well to London. So Chinatown has got some really good restaurants there.
Yeah, actually. Unfortunately, because I need to go with someone who is, Chinese, because I wouldn't know which are the good restaurants and which aren't the not so good restaurants. But I can tell you there is one restaurant that we went with Sam.
Yeah, that was
and I really did enjoy it, and that was rated as one of the best Chinese places.
So do check that out. That is on one of our videos. It's in the video called
London Orient, I think.
No. It was called London Part 1 or London Part. I think it's London Part 2.
Yeah, it might be London Part 2.
Yeah, London. So it's called London Part 2. You'll see it in our vids there as well. That's where we go to Chinatown and really eat out there as well. We probably shouldn't have called it London Part 2 because it's difficult to find.
No, because I put where we went to on the description, so whoever Googles it or whoever can find
it. Okay. So it should be on there somewhere as well. But hopefully when you get to come to London, we really do hope you can get to come, because then we'll be able to take you around.
Yeah,
and not just restaurants as well. Some of those Harry Potter shops you quite.
Oh yeah, if you're into Harry Potter, then yeah, it's Harry Potter filled. There was one girl, and she was reviewing. She went to Warner Brothers, and she didn't have to pay for her ticket. It's the girl that I like
Oh
to
yeah,
watch.
yeah.
But she didn't rate Warner Brothers Studios at all. I really liked it.
Nahar.
Hey Nahar, I hope you're well.
You're on a different channel, well, a different handle.
Yeah.
How are you? You okay?
I hope you're well. She didn't like that. She didn't have to pay for her ticket, but she paid for a coach.
Doris said, "Yeah, of course, a Harry Potter tour is in order."
I'm glad you like Harry Potter. So this girl, she got her tickets for free, and she went down to the Warner Brothers Studios. Now, in some of the instances, they've actually put a new thing in that she was showing, but we haven't seen yet. So there's a new element to it. But anyway, she went there. She didn't rate it at all. She's like, this costume, that costume, this costume. She didn't like it. And then she goes, anything extra like the green screen, which you couldn't film, you had to pay for, which is true. You do have to pay for.
Yeah, you do.
And then they show you the animatronics and things like that, you know, how they worked Dobby and how they worked other things. She didn't like that. And then there was a couple of other things that she didn't like. And then you get to go into Fort Privet Drive. Now, when I first went, you couldn't go actually into the house, but now you can go into the house.
Yeah, they've changed it now.
They've changed it now. And then, so you can go into the house, but what they've done, they've blocked off part of the house. Like at first, we couldn't go into the kitchen, I don't think, but you passed the room where all the letters were.
Yeah.
And what I found strange, this is what I found really strange. So when you go into Warner Brothers Studios, you pass the cupboard under the stairs. But when you go into the house, they haven't done the cupboard under the stairs.
Well, you do find, so we don't want to ruin too much about the tour, but they change it all the time. I mean, it changed quite a bit from when I last went to it. So it is worth going back now and again. Oh, Nahar, she said, I watched Titanic. It's so sad. Did you watch? I'm assuming you mean you watched the film with Leonardo DiCaprio rather than the documentary. I'll tell you something. It would make me laugh. Apparently, when that first came out, there were so many young people that thought it was actually a story. And they were absolutely baffled, and they had no idea that it was actually based on a real story, that a ship actually called Titanic sailed and actually genuinely sank and people died.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's obviously on the true story. Yeah, and there was a lot of realism actually to the film. Some of it was a bit historically inaccurately, but the general gist of it is as well. That's what did happen.
It was a sad film, and I remember when it came out, and I must have seen it stayed in the cinema for so long because people kept going back to watch it and rewatch it. Some people had seen it like 7 times and all of this. It was a real, back in the day, it was like a real big thing. And it stayed in the cinema for about 4 months, and I went to see it like after it had been out for about 4 months. And the guy said to me, "Oh, so how many times have you seen it?" I said, "Oh no, this is my first time." He's like, "What?" He was so shocked, and I said, "Yeah, I just come to see it because it's been out and people have seen it like about 20 times and all of this." But yeah, when it came out, people had been to see it so many times, and it's probably one of the longest ones that has stayed in the cinema. I think
Keegan said he'll get anything from the Chinese. He's not fussed; it's just anything that's going out there. Nahar said, and plus it's it's 3 hours.
Yeah, it's very long.
I didn't go to the cinema to watch it. I just watched it on TV. I thought the best bit is towards the end because I only really well, I've got to be honest, I only watched it for the effects. Well, I think everybody knows what happens to the Titanic.
But what I was about to, everyone knows what happens to the Titanic, but I thought you were going to mention what happens.
No, I'm not mentioning that bit. Just the Titanic bit. But that did actually happen. The ship did, when it was sinking, did snap into 2 and then sink. And it caused a little bit of a vortex. It sort of sucked people down in there as well.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was very sad. And I remember it being very long. And I remember, but it didn't make me want to go and see it again.
No, definitely not.
It didn't make me want to go and, like, so many people went to see it so many times, and I watched it once, but it didn't. Don't get me wrong. There have been other films that I've gone to see twice. Some of them I've gone to see 3 times. Like, I went to see, I'm just trying to think what films I went to see more than once. Harry Potter. I went to see Harry Potter about 2 or 3 times. And I remember when it was leaving the cinema, I think it might have been the third or fourth one. And I remember I was working at a place, and this woman, she was supervisor, she really, really got on my nerves. I couldn't stand her. And 5 o'clock came, and I just left. I was already starting to pack up, but I went so that I could catch. I think it was starting at 5:30.
Oh, at the
So yes, and it was in London, and so I quickly left and then went and went to watch Harry Potter. And I used to do things like that, just take myself off to the cinema and go and sit in the cinema by myself and watch something. And I haven't done it here for a long time. I haven't done it in the States, but like I used to do it in the States. If we were going to the States or whatever, I'd go and watch one film. Like I remember I went with a friend of mine, and she wanted to go and see Saw, and I wanted to go and see the Michael Jackson. I can't remember what Michael Jackson it was, but it was the one that they sent out a film before he. So he was
called The One.
Was that what it was called? The One. So she went to see Saw, and I went to see The One. But she absolutely hated being in the cinema by herself, and I was like really enjoying being in the cinema by myself. It was crazy.
What was it? So Gloria said watching shows alone is such a great experience, to be honest. Do you know what? There's nothing wrong with doing that at all. When I was actually living on my own, and the cinema was right down, it was just close to me as well. I'd often go there as well, because you could just go there, watch it, and then come back. And there's always that, it stops that argument with somebody wanting to watch something. Kelly and I never agree on the film we want to watch. Kelly wants to watch something, I don't know, and it's not what I really want to watch. Gloria said, I've been watching so many theatre shows and musicals lately. Oh, wow. And watching them alone really helps you focus more.
Yeah.
Oh, that is good. That is good, actually. I think you're right. I know I do like going with someone, because then you can have that debate with them, what they thought. But I used to have a friend of mine that used to really get on my nerves. We'd be in the cinema, and about a quarter of the way through, go, what do you think so far? I go, well, I don't know yet. I'll just watch quarter. And then halfway through, what do you think now? What do you think so far?
My aunt she's so classic. I took her to see a film once, which I knew that she would like it. It was called I forget what it's called, but it's the one with Vanessa, whatever her name is.
Vanessa Paradis?
No, the other Vanessa, with the blue eyes. Anyway, it was a dancing film, and I remember taking her to see that, and she was talking to me, you know what he was doing, and explaining to me
that would get on my nerves.
what the person was doing. It's so funny,
no,
but she didn't have like Auntie, shh, we got to be quiet because other people. And then she went, oh no, did you see that?
Gloria said, oh no, that's me. Your friend is just like me. I have so many thoughts. I'll watch. Do you know what? I don't mind actually, Gloria, someone doing that if I'm at home. So if we're watching it at home, but I think in the cinema, I'd be like, shh. But it's weird actually, because I think that you're still watching a film in the cinema. I think probably it's because I'm wondering if anybody else is listening.
Yeah, I think you. Yeah, you.
But at home, I don't mind discussing that as well, and I do like it sometimes, especially if I get lost in a film. Because I'll say to Kelly, or Kelly will say to me, right, I'm completely lost. I say, yeah, I am too. I'm not quite sure where we are with this one yet.
I'll be like, what did he say? And then sometimes I'll have to rewind it or stop it and say, what did he say?
Yeah.
But yeah, my aunt's very much but my granddad was hilarious.
Oh, Naha, are you sure? Naha said, me and my friend are gonna watch The Conjuring in the dark on the weekend. Do you know what? Funny you should say that, Naha. I was listening to a documentary, funny enough, today, of all things, and it was on The Conjuring, because The Conjuring is based upon a real life story that actually happened about a haunted house. And they were talking about in this thing about what happened in this house and all the things that happened. So it's actually based upon a real life story.
I think Amityville's based on
yeah, loosely, but they debunked that, didn't they? Amityville. So what had happened was with Amityville is, again, it was based upon it is. It's apparently based on The Conjuring. Is based upon a real life story. So remember, with all those things as well, it gives it that extra bit of scary factor, because it could have potentially been true. No, Amityville, apparently, what had happened was with that, there was a story, and it apparently had been true. Somebody had gone and killed his family in a fit of rage. But what had happened is other people that had lived there had tried to cash in on it. So they said that the Amityville doll came to life, and it's all put in is now in a glass box, but if anybody takes it out apparently his connection with the devil and all this blah blah blah. But actually, like, the guy that did it actually admitted he made it up because he realized there was money to be made from the story, because it was actually originally a book, so he was getting a profit from the book sales. No, I said no, stop it. But there are a few other ones that are true. But yeah, just have that in your mind. That might make it a little bit extra enjoyable.
Yeah, there was one. There's one that Stephen King wrote, and that was based upon a true story. I think it was called Rose Red, and it's based on a house and that's based on a true story, by the way. So yeah, if you're looking for horror stories that are based on true stories, then Rose Red.
The trouble is with any of these, though, if it's going to make you scared, it's a lot of them is, well, remember, you're only going by what stories, like what people said, or in my house this happened or that happened.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's based on a true story.
No, very loosely.
You
yes,
need to Google these things
and
find out.
You're making me change my mind now. She said.
Just saying, yeah, that, like some of these, not all of them, but some of the horror stories are rooted in truth. So yeah, you need to sort of like Google them.
But we said we're going to match it no matter what.
No, dear.
Well, just to put it this way, if it's never happened in your house before, it's not likely to. But yeah, no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was very loosely based. There was a cannibalistic family in Texas, and because what normally happens is a writer will read these stories somewhere in a newspaper that happened, and it inspires, oh, can you imagine, that would make a great story, and then they exaggerate it a bit more. That's what tends to happen. There was a poltergeist in Stowe Say in Enfield in North London.
Oh.
And then it was haunting these children that were there. So this one child would put on this adult's voice, and she said it was a guy that was in their house before, and she'd go, yeah, I died sitting in the chair right there. And the son confirmed that that's his father had done. He died sitting in the chair from a stroke. But again, later the girls agreed that they'd actually just made up the voice themselves. They hadn't actually been possessed. Keegan said, have you seen Black Adam in the cinema? Kelly has.
Oh yeah, I went to see it. Yeah, I went to see it a few weeks ago now.
Oh, so Dory's got to go because it's free, and it was so nice to see you as well. Oh, lovely to see you. Yeah, do try and catch us again sometime as well if you can. We'll say good night to you as well. But thank you so much.
Thank you for staying with us. Take care and have a good night's sleep. Hey, don't be too tired for tomorrow.
Oh no! I said stop it. You're scaring me now. All right, we'll stop it there.
We'll stop it right there.
But yeah, a lot of that, they're just exaggerated, Nahat. They're just exaggerated. So what they do is somebody reads a story somewhere about a ghost story, and then they just obviously they add it to make the story actually happen. What did you think of Black Adam?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was all right, but it was. Do you know what? Like I said to you when I watched it, it was like the poor cousin of the Marvel's universe.
Don't put Keegan on. Keegan, have you seen it, or did you want to see it?
I thought it was all right. I just thought they could have done a better story.
Okay, so that is one as well. Have you seen Shazam, the new one? I saw the first one.
Yeah, I saw the first one. And they come from the same origin.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Shazam.
Shazam and Black Adam. They come from the same origin. And I didn't really much like Shazam. I thought that was only okay.
I thought it was okay, Shazam.
Yeah.
Anything lighter you want to watch? That's a bit of a leap for Naha. It's gone from Titanic to The Conjuring. So how many are you going to watch this film on your own?
You wouldn't catch me watching it, and I'm a lot older than you.
Kelly would not
watch any of those.
There's no way Kelly would watch any horror films.
I just don't. I think because some of them are rooted in truth.
Yeah.
I don't like to fill my mind. I don't like to fill my mind with negative things. So I try to be positive and try to watch positive things and things like that.
Some of them as well, they are so for example, that's how they sold the Blair Witch Project. They actually sold it as lost tapes. And what was so interesting about it was so many people believed it was true. because when they released the trailer, they didn't do it as a trailer, you know, like say coming soon. Da, da, da. They didn't do that. What they did is they just showed snippets of this tape, and they just put a thing saying 3 students went out into the woods. 3 months later, their film was found, and they just showed snippets of it. But people were so taken by it in America, they thought it was real. And they actually started sending out search parties looking for these 3. Of course, they were 3 actors, but they were looking at thinking they were 3 genuine kids that had gone lost out in the woods and got missing. So they were actually looking for them in the area as well. But there's lots of ghost and witch stories from those sort of areas in the United States.
But even Richard said he was going to go to Epping Forest?
Epping Forest to go ghost hunting.
Yeah, and he was saying that he came across something that told him to get out or whatever, and I was just like, I don't know why you go looking for these things. They're just not,
you've seen Black Panther, or you're going to see, or you have seen
I saw Black Panther.
We saw Black Panther, the new one.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? If so, what did you think? Or are you going to see it? We've there are a few films I do want to see. You've seen it. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you prefer the second one or the first one, or have you not seen the first one?
I preferred the first one.
Yeah, I preferred the first one.
Yeah, the second one was okay, but the first one was much better.
Yeah.
The problem is, how are you ever going to replace Chadwick Boseman?
Well, I think that was the problem. I think it was so much an ode to Chadwick that I did think to myself, I wouldn't have done it that way. I'd have made a decision when I had the sort of ode right at the beginning and just for about 20 minutes and then moved on.
I would have done it at the end.
Or maybe at the end, as well, or a bit of both.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was, and I thought it was just unnecessary.
I felt like I liked the dedication, but it still remains how it's so difficult to replace somebody who's so iconic.
Well, this is it. I mean, they would really struggle to replace Iron Man, because you just think of Robbie Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
It'd be very difficult. But the thing with Chadwick as well, because he was so heroic in the filming of it, like he didn't tell anyone, he suffered through that. He must have been in so much pain, filming it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
That's why you would have to find somebody with the same integrity, and that is what would be difficult.
It's a tricky one. But that being said, I don't know if anybody knew this, but apparently Chadwick Boseman didn't want to do it anymore anyway. So he was only ever going to do, even if he was still alive today, he was only ever going to do 1, maybe 2 more films and called it quits. He didn't like that kind. He loved doing characters. So he loved doing things like that. So if you look at his last few films, he played a soldier in the Vietnam War. He played a 1930s jazz musician.
Yeah.
He said those are the characters he really enjoyed playing. He didn't really want to do superheroes. So he did say his plan was apparently not to do many more anyway. He wanted to go into different characters.
Yeah, but even doing 2 or 3 more would have been fine anyway. But he also did because he was in was it The Winter Soldier? He was in.
Yeah.
So he was in The Winter Soldier, and then he did Black Panther. And then he would have gone on to probably do maybe 1, maybe 2, but that would have been fine.
Yeah.
But to know what he went through, I think other actors respect him more because of what he went through. And I think viewers respect him more because of what he went through. And still, because that's the thing of it, isn't it? It's like when you're in the theatre and you're sick, you still try to go on because people have paid their money.
So Keegan's watching Black Panther, and he said I really enjoyed the second one.
Right.
All right. I prefer that. I'm getting pushed out here.
Well, no, you're leaning on the chair.
I know. I'm trying to move in. That's what I mean.
But you can lean in. You don't have to lean on the chair. I'm just turning my chair while you're kicking the table, but I'm just turning my chair like this.
Getting bashed out of here. So Keegan's also watching Black Panther as well.
Wow.
So yes, you enjoyed 1 and 2. I think the interesting thing is as well. There was an interview with Steven Spielberg, and he warns Warner Brothers Studios, and he said you're making too many superhero films.
Right.
And this is what he was saying. He said the danger is, he said in his day when he was young in the 1960s, he said they made far too many westerns. Every other film in the 60s was a western. And he said what happened is the public by the end of the 60s were just sick of them. And he said then you get in a danger then is then none get made. So he said, and if you think about it, there's one or two have been made since the 60s and 70s, but not many. And he said superhero films will go in the same route if they're not careful. So the public will just get sick of them, and there hardly any will get made again.
I don't know, because there's been a few westerns for sure. There has been, you know, because you've had what's the one with?
No, I said there's a few, but not many. I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because that I mean, there's been a few, but that's the point, isn't it? You can make a few. What Steven Spielberg's point is, make a few, not so many. And you're saying in the 60s they made a load, but they have made a load, especially in the 90s and now.
Didn't. There was a few, not many.
There was, what's his name, Emilio Estevez. What's the series that he did? Billy the Kid.
One.
So did two.
Right.
They did two. They did also Wyatt Earp. They did two different Wyatt Earps.
Yeah.
They also did. What's his name? Sam Elliott. I love Sam Elliott. He's in so many.
He's been in a couple, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll say about 10.
There's been a few,
in 2 decades, yeah.
There's been a few, but I think you have to. I'm sure there's been more. I just can't think of them off the top of my head because what's his name was in one. What's the one who did The Bodyguard? What's his name?
Oh yeah, he did a few.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying. So that's the danger, I suppose. It's
oversaturation. So saturation. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg said, "Be very careful about doing too many." I do agree with that because there are so many of them. Some are good, but some are a bit naff. So what's ended up happening is they're churning these out. And there's a new Ant-Man one coming out.
Do you know what it is like? Because there's so many comic books.
Yeah.
It's that you've got a resource. Do you know what I mean? And I think those people that were growing up reading the comic book, you're hitting several, because at this point in time, you're hitting several generations.
So Keegan really enjoyed the storyline. Did you for Black Panther 2? See, now the thing is, Keegan, I wasn't so sure. I tell you why. Because I did think that. I thought there was too much time on the... I know it was good to do that because it was an ode to Chadwick Boseman. That was the last Black Panther. But I think then what happened, the storyline revolved very much around that. And I thought what they should have done is done that at the beginning, and then I would have had it so they have a competition for the next Black Panther, and then brought that would have been introduced a new Black Panther in there, but they didn't as such.
Yeah, and plus they burnt all the flowers and
so you couldn't bring another Black Panther back, and I thought
it was a little bit difficult. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like with the comic book era, you're hitting several generations. It's a bit like Doctor Who, where you read a lot of comic books when you were a kid. So they interest you. You were more into DC than you're into Marvels, right? But I feel like you're hitting several generations. So you're hitting the people who read comic books back in the day, then your era. I don't know if many kids read comic books now, but they'll be more interested in the films than they will be of the comic books. So I think you would hit quite a few people, and even our nephews. So you're hitting several generations.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah,
I think also they've got to write them so someone who knows nothing about the hero gets introduced to them. I do think though sometimes that they've done overkill on that. I mean, everybody knows how Spider-Man became Spider-Man. Everybody knows how Batman became Batman.
Well,
they've done it so many times.
But the thing was, I was never into comic books when I was little. So that part of that generation, so our generation, you had 50% that didn't read comic books because they were more interested in, My Little Pony and whatever else.
Right.
But it's true, like a load of, I'm not saying all of us, but like a load of girls, you were into Cindy, you were into Barbie, you were into My Little Pony.
Into me.
My Little Pony. You were into Cindy, Barbie, My Little Pony, maybe a glowworm and all of that.
You're showing your age now.
Whereas the boys, they were into, like, I don't know, Mask or what's the other thing? He-Man and whatever other comic books and stuff like that. Now but I wasn't into comic books, but I bought a load of magazines. So I was into things like Just 17 and Blue Jeans and whatever else was there at the time. And I remember the neighbor over the road gave me two big bags full of annuals, and I used to read all these annuals and stuff like that. So it did make me think whether we should buy one of the nephews an annual every year, like for Christmas. But I don't know how
No,
they sort of
I
like.
think you're looking at that was our generation. I think new
Well,
generation.
there must be people that still buy them, otherwise they wouldn't bring out annuals anymore.
Yeah, I suppose
there must be a market for them.
Collectors.
Yeah.
So what have you got planned for any more film? Has anybody got a film that they want to see? Is there anything anybody's desperate to go and watch? Or do people not want to watch films anymore? Do people rather watch series or documentaries or I was going to say there's so many series on Netflix. So one of the things I did want to watch is the series which is called The Last of Us, which is actually based upon a computer game. It looks really good. So it's a very much a zombie type movies, which I want to see. That looks quite good. I was going to say, Keegan, I want to see Avatar: The Way of the Water.
Oh yes.
We haven't seen that yet. We do want to watch it. So
is it out in the cinema?
Yeah, it's out in the cinema. Yeah. Giovanni went to see it.
Maybe we'll watch the first one tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, we could do.
Yeah, and then watch the second one.
So have you seen Way of the Water yet? And if you have, did you go and see it in 3D? I do want to go and see it in 3D. I watched the first one in 3D because the movie itself is okay, but it's so much better when you watch it in 3D. They were saying apparently people were leaving the cinema quite depressed because it makes you feel like you're in this magical world.
I didn't like it in 3D. I've got to be honest. I don't like watching a lot of movies in 3D.
No, does it affect your eyes?
It's not that, but you're trying to keep up with the action and you're just like this, like looking at it in 3D. It's just weird. I'm just like.
Well, Avatar was slightly different because you were in that thing where you could see the jellyfish and it was all done very, very sort of subtly and quietly.
Yeah, but still, when they were fighting, I still had to try and keep up with
Well,
them.
that's the idea, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I didn't like. I think, I think I went to see it 2 different times. I think I went to see it in 3D, and then I went to see it without 3D.
Yeah.
Because I preferred it without the 3D.
Oh, really? No, yeah. The whole point of the film was, I think the problem is with Avatar, the first one, he spent so much on the effects. It not took away from the storyline, but the storyline I think could have been slightly better. I think the focus was more on the storyline. But it was a good story, but I thought it was the little bits I would have changed to it. Yeah. But yeah, so he's made several of them. Way of the Water is the second one. I believe there's going to be 4 or 5 of them, maybe even more. There's quite a few he's got lined up. So this is the underwater one. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. So they've done the air, they've done the water. Do you think they'll do the elements, land,
fire and
fire,
land,
land, and then wind?
Possibly. I think air would be considered wind. No.
Oh, the air could have been. Yeah. So fire and land.
Yeah.
Don't know what you do for fire.
But yeah, I think I watched the Avatar, as in not Avatar, but the Avatar, which I really liked. I mean, I liked it as a cartoon when I was a kid.
Keegan saw Super Mario Brothers. What was that one like? I know that was coming out as well.
Oh wow!
I used to play that. I used to love that on Nintendo, Super Mario Bros. Mario Kart nearly ruined my degree. I was doing really well, studying hard, and then one of my flatmates bought Mario Kart, and I just ended up spending so many hours playing Mario Kart. Mario Kart was awesome. This is going back a long time, but it was such a good game.
I don't know. I can't imagine. Yeah.
I had to really discipline myself. I can't keep playing Mario Kart.
You know, like sometimes when I'm on my games, I think, oh, maybe I'm a bit too addicted. But when we went to Brussels and I left my phone, I wasn't that bothered about it.
No, not at all.
I wasn't that bothered that I couldn't game. I wasn't that bothered that I'd left it. I wasn't that. It was slightly inconvenient when I maybe wanted to film something, but that was about it. That's about the most that I felt. So I was quite lucky that I didn't feel any kind of way about it, to be quite honest. Yeah.
Well, guys, we've been going for quite a while, nearly 2 hours. So I think we will leave it there for Mark and Kelly's Trip Tips and Things for Tuesday. But we will be back Friday, as we normally do, 6 p.m. UK time. for more of our little live chat. Until then, before we go, just wanted to say a big happy birthday to Richard.
Oh yes, Richard's Adventures.
I know you're not on, that's because you're out celebrating, so I hope you had a fantastic birthday. We will hopefully catch you up on Friday, as everybody else. We hopefully catch you up on Friday. Guys, have a brilliant week. Thank you so much for this discussion. We always do enjoy your chats and really enjoyed it this Tuesday as well. As I say, we will hopefully see you Friday. That's bye from myself and Kelly. Look after yourselves, take care, and remember, you're never too old to have fun. We will hopefully see you on Friday. Take care, guys. Bye, Amanda.
Bye for now. Bye, Amanda. Take care. Bye. Bye.